Welcome to Season 3, Episode 4 of Youth Empowerment Radio. Today we are here with Brooke and Berkeley. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name's Brooke, and I'm an intern here at Oaktree Youth Resources. I'm currently working for my master's degree in social work through Northern Arizona University. I've been with Oaktree since August of last year, and I'm excited to keep working with them and be here on the podcast today.
Hi, my name is Berkeley. I'm also an intern here at Oaktree Youth Resources. I'm working towards my undergraduate degree in psychology at Fort Lewis College. This is my first time at Oaktree. This is my first semester at Oaktree, I should say. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here today.
Well, that's amazing. Yeah, so we're going to get started. The first question I have down is, can you describe what Real Talk is and its purpose?
Yeah, so Real Talk is a mental health support group that meets every Tuesday from 4 to 5 p.m. The goal of Real Talk is to create a safe, supportive, and consistent space where youth can come and rely on sharing their experiences, sharing the good parts of the week, the hard parts of the week, talking about things they're looking forward to, and even seeking advice. It's also a space that we want to emphasize youth can come and connect without the need to.
Wow, that's amazing. What about you, Berkeley? Is there anything you want to add on?
I think that Brooke said it all.
Okay, awesome. So the next question I have down is, what activities or discussions take place during your group meetings?
We've so far had discussions of trust, boundaries, and sobriety, but we do hope to talk more about issues that the youth come forward about. For activities, we've mostly focused on group building activities or games to help build trust for the youth as a group, and we've wanted to start doing more hands-on craft style activities.
Nice, nice. I really love that you guys build trust first and then start doing the activities during the meetings. I think this is great, and I really like what you guys are doing. Question 3, what do you find helps motivate the youth to participate and stay engaged?
As far as staying motivated and staying engaged, we found that hands-on activities are really helpful because it allows the youth to focus on doing an activity while also sharing their thoughts. We've also incorporated food into Real Talk so that everyone who comes and participates in the group is welcome to pizza and drinks. We're also hoping to start some pro-social events coming up here, potentially seeing a monthly movie with the Real Talk group. And so I think the more kind of fun activities that we can continue to plan and take input from the youth, we can keep them motivated and engaged.
Yeah, definitely. I love that idea. Is there anything you want to add on, Berkeley?
Yeah, I would just say for participation, we've tried to start with some easy questions to answer at the beginning, just to kind of build that beginning trust. And then after those opening questions, we move into kind of how the week was, any kind of great things that happened that week, any kind of challenges, and then something that they're looking forward to just kind of get people to start chatting.
Awesome. Wow, I really love that. Well, the question 4 I have written down is, how has the group been going overall?
I think so far we've got off to a great start. We really are looking forward to seeing the group continuing to develop, getting the word out there and having more youth show up and just kind of building a more of a consistent turnout. So far, I think there's been a good balance of a casual but yet supportive environment. And we're just definitely still in that trust building phase where the youth are learning who we are and learning that they can rely on us to be here every Tuesday and support them in the best ways that we can.
Wow, that's great. I really love how you guys started building and how it got to this point. Just keep doing what you guys do. Pretty soon it's going to be amazing. The next question I have written down is, how do you think a supportive community influences the behavioral health choices young people make? The role do peers play in shaping those decisions?
I think the power peers have over one another is really huge. It's an important factor to think about, and that in Real Talk, we encourage all of our youth to hold each other accountable. And so we've started goal setting where they can even share out loud if they feel comfortable on a goal they've set that week, and then feel supported by their peers because we encourage the peers to share strategies that have worked for them and just check in on each other throughout the week and at every Real Talk. I think it can be really powerful to have that peer influence.
Yeah, definitely, especially the part where it's accountability as well. Is there anything you want to add on, Berkeley?
Yeah, I would just say that having that supportive community around the peers also is super helpful and needed for you, just because it kind of helps shape what behaviors that they want to explore and do.
Yeah, definitely. I really love those responses that you guys shared. The next question I have down is, what are some common barriers that prevent young people from expressing their feelings or seeking support? How can community organizations work to address those barriers?
I think a lot of the common barriers are mostly around not knowing where to get the support. It can definitely be hard for youth to ask for support, especially if they don't know where to go for it or how the other person will react. So I think that having community organizations is extremely important for this just because they're trained to give that support and be there constantly.
Yeah, definitely. I really love that as well as coming from the community. A lot of people don't know certain resources or people that are out there that are willing to help. Is there anything you want to add on, Brooke?
Yeah, building off of what Berkeley said, I think not knowing where to go for these resources is a huge barrier. Along with that, I think having a lack of trust in these youth, that can really make it hard to seek support. And I think something that community organizations can do more of is normalizing mental health conversations, being direct and asking youth how they're doing, just really asking those questions and having those repeated small interactions that can build trust over time, highlighting the small wins in their lives and really recognizing that the hard work that they're doing and just making an attempt to keep building trust over time.
Yeah, definitely. I really love the trust. Trust plays a big part, especially in people's lives day by day. I really love the input you guys shared. The next question I have down is, what steps can organizations take when creating groups and safe spaces to ensure they are truly inclusive?
I think one thing that can be done is setting a norm for the group. For an example, it might be everyone deserves respect and then outlining what that looks like. For example, we're going to not talk over each other. We're going to hear everyone out and give everyone a chance to talk. And then also setting that norm that no one has to share more than what they're comfortable with. So no one is really put on the spotlight or feeling uncomfortable. We want it to be a welcoming environment that feels safe, relaxing, and supportive.
Yeah, definitely. I really love how it seems like you guys have the boundary setting, but also not to overstep boundaries with a lot of these youth. I really love that what you shared. Berkeley, is there something you want to add on?
Not really, just kind of making that trust that we're here to listen and that everybody else in the space should also be here to listen, but you also don't have to share anything that you're not comfortable with sharing.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing those. The last question I have written down is, in your view, what are the long term mental health impacts for a young person who feels supported and heard?
I think that there are a lot of positive effects for a young person that feels supported and heard. I feel like many mental health struggles thrive during times of isolation, so having a place or a person to turn to can be extremely helpful to disrupt this isolation.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything you want to add on, Brooke?
I agree, Berkeley, and it really just sets up a youth to have the confidence they need to achieve their goals, to set out the lifestyle that they need to live. I agree, Berkeley. I think there's several benefits of a youth that feels heard and supported from different mental health groups like this one. I think, yeah, building off what Berkeley said, I think there are plenty of long-term mental health impacts for a youth who feels supported and heard. I think some of those are increased confidence. I think more success in setting goals and achieving them, and overall just a healthier well-being. And so I hope that Real Talk can contribute to this in all the possible ways.
Awesome. I really love the input that you two shared. I do appreciate the time that you guys took out today to do this podcast recording for Real Talk here at Oaktree Youth Resources. So I want to say thank you, Brooke and Berkeley, for taking the time, and I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Audrey, for having us here today. Come to Real Talk every Tuesday, 4 to 5 p.m.
Thank you, Audrey, for having us.
Of course, thank you.